Welcome to another episode of Women in Research. This is a special edition where we feature a woman in leadership. Welcome, Dr. Kiringa. Please, but first, before she introduces herself, we are recording this in March. I'm sure it will be published in March. Therefore, happy International Women's Day to all the women out there. We celebrate you. You are doing a good job. Welcome, Dr. Kiringa.
Thank you very much, Mekesa, for this opportunity that you have given me. And thank you also for the wishes of the International Women's Day. And I wish you a very happy International Women's Day.
Thank you. So please introduce yourself. Of course, so many people don't know you.
Yeah, thank you. My name is Grace Kiringa. Currently, I am the acting director, planning and performance management at the University of Nairobi.
Yeah. So we call her Dr. Kiringa, but we will get to that part of the story where she will tell us her journey through UON. We were making a joke one day. We sit in neighboring offices. So we were making a joke one day, and Dr. Kiringa said she has sat in so many stations at the University of Nairobi. So I would like her to tell us her journey of how, and the reason why she's been featured is because she's a leader and she holds various positions. Actually, you didn't say that part, but you'll tell us as you go on. So we were laughing and saying she's served in so many stations, various stations of the University of Nairobi. And that's the story I would like for us to hear today from Dr. Kiringa. So Dr. Kiringa, when did you join the University of Nairobi? And how then did you end up being the acting director of performance control?
Thank you very much again for the opportunity. I joined the University of Nairobi in the year 2001. That was in November.
Yeah.
As an assistant arts officer, Roa State House Road.
Yeah.
Then from there, I worked in various strategic management units. Then they were called SMUs. So I stayed for 2 years at Roa State House. Then again, I was transferred to Mamraka, where I worked from 2002 to 2003. Then from Mamraka, SMU, I also worked in Kenyatta Medical School for 1 year. Then from Kenyatta Medical School, again, I was transferred to Roa State House Strategic Management Unit. So that was so I worked in SOA, Student Welfare Authority, up to 2005. Then in 2006, I was taken to Chiromo to relieve an administrator in School of Computing and Informatics. So I worked as an admin assistant for 1 year at SCI. Then from there in 2007,
What is SCI?
School of Computing and Informatics. Then from 2007, again, I got deployed in the School of Mathematics, again as an admin assistant. Then from 2007, then I worked in the School of Mathematics for up to 2012. That was clean 5 years. A place I really enjoyed to be. And in that period, I got promoted as senior administrative assistant. That's grade EF. Then in 2012, I was promoted as an assistant registrar, office of the legal office, where I stayed from 2012 to 2017.
Another 5 years.
Another 5 years, yes. Then from the legal office, I moved in 2018, I moved to College of Architecture and Engineering as the registrar. Then in 2019, again, I got deployed to Transformation Unit, where I was appointed as the manager. Then in 2021, in the same office, now I got appointed as acting director, planning and performance management. So that's how my journey has been at the University of Nairobi from 2001 to present today.
Wow.
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay. We will ask the questions that are stemming from there.
Okay.
when I joined the University of Nairobi, I believe you were in pensions. You were a pensions trustee, is that the name?
Yes.
And that's an elective position. So can you tell us how you got into that first? And how long you served? You know, you didn't mention that part.
Yeah, thank you so much. I joined the University of Nairobi pension scheme in the year 2014. It's a 3-year term, 3 years renewable. So I served there from 2014 to 2020. And I became the journey for me to be a trustee, it was out of my experience when I was processing benefits for my late husband, because I lost my husband in the year 2010, and he was a staff at the University of Nairobi. So in my journey to process for his benefits, I went to pension scheme, and I was following up on his benefits. And the secretariat then gave me and advised me on the options where I could invest those benefits. And they gave me one insurance company. And they were recommending that that's the only insurance company that can give me annuity, because I was still very young. I was at the 3 years old when I lost my husband. So
3 years old?
33. I was 33 years
33,
old.
sorry.
So by that time they were saying there's only one insurance company that can give you the option of the annuity. So I came back, I made my calculations of how much I'll be getting per month in relation to the amount. And I realized when I was to recoup my principal, the money that was given to that insurance, I was to recoup my principal like after 20 years. I'm like, this is not making sense.
Financial sense.
It's not making any financial sense.
Okay.
Then luckily, I had an actuary. That time I was working at the School of Mathematics. And the School of Mathematics teach actuarial science. So I approached one of the lecturers in the actuarial science and requested to advise me on the way forward. So when I told him my story, he was like, no, that is not correct. In the market, there are more people who can give you more options and even give you better returns. I'm like, what? Is it true? Yeah, he told me, yes, that is true. It is possible. And he gave me an assignment to walk through 3 insurance companies. So I think I went to Jubilee, I went to Britam, I went to ICA. And the difference was so huge of what this first insurance company was giving me in comparison to what I was getting from the market. It could have been a difference of 15,000. So I called myself I asked myself, if this is happening to me, and I'm a staff of this university, what could be happening to the ladies who lose their husbands here at the university, but they don't work here? They don't even know the insurance company. They don't even know what happens. So they just depend on the advice they are given in the office. I'm like, no, I need to fight for trusteeship just to create an impact in the society. Just to be on that table that is making decisions which are impacting on somebody who is in Garissa, somebody who is in Mombasa, somebody who is in Kisumu, somebody who is so far, that I can be part of that decision making and that they can make maximum benefit of what has been left behind by their relatives,
Okay.
their loved ones, yes.
So now we are pausing, then we rewind, then
Yes.
we now go back to
Yes.
how did you apply for the job that the first role that you were employed in at the University of Nairobi? And apart from that, what did you study for you to qualify to now then be employed to start there? And how did you grow through it? Because now that it has gone, financial and it's interesting how you made use of the mathematicians there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my background, my first degree is Bachelor of Education,
Oh.
Arts. I joined Kikuyu campus in the year 1994 and finished in 1998. So that's my background, really. I'm a trained teacher,
Oh, nice.
although I didn't teach. Then in the year 2000, I registered for my master's, the same faculty. So I did master's in education administration and planning.
Okay.
Then again, after I finished in 2003, in the year 2004, 2005, I started now developing my proposal for my PhD. And
By that time, you were already employed.
yes, I was already working at the university. Yes, I joined the university in 2001. So when I was pursuing my PhD, I was already a staff in the university. Yes. Yes.
So the job was advertised, you applied?
Yes, the first job as an assistant horse officer in Student Welfare Authority was advertised, which I applied. And I was invited for interviews. And so I was appointed as an assistant horse officer. Actually, we were 14 of us who joined that year.
At the same time.
Yes, same time, yeah. Yes.
And so how is that how was that different with what you had studied for, coming to work at, a horse officer? I don't know what you needed to qualify to do that job, but yeah.
Sure. Yeah, the requirement for assistant horse officer was a degree, bachelor's.
Okay.
That was the requirement. Having a master's was an advantage, an additional advantage. But it was very relevant to my training.
Yeah.
Reason being, being a trained teacher or a trained teacher by profession meant that I relate with the students. So at that level, I was relating with students, but at different level, not in the classroom or in the lecture rooms, but by ensuring that they have good accommodation facilities. Because the work of the horse officer is to ensure that the horses are in good condition. They are clean, the compound was well kept, the toilets the washrooms are working, the rooms are good, they have mattresses, the power is working. So that's what I was doing on a daily basis, and it was very much related in line with my profession. Yeah, because I was very happy and even up to date, I'm very happy working in an education institution, a higher education institution. Yeah.
So yes, I stopped you from the part where you're submitting your proposal for your PhD.
Or for my PhD, yes. So I submitted in the year 2006. And then in the year 2007, I got a full registration at the Faculty of Education. And also, I got a scholarship.
Oh, nice.
I applied for a scholarship with Dad, which I was awarded. So I had enough money to conduct my research. Yes. Yeah.
How was that? How was that while you're working here? How was that navigating those? How many years did it take you to finish?
It took quite a long time for me to finish my PhD because of reasons that were beyond me. Because when I registered fully in the year 2007, and also to thank one professor from mathematics, he was called Professor Pokariar, who was indeed a mentor to most of us. And he always kept on talking to us and insisting, Grace, you'd come to my office and tell me, Grace, don't just sit here. You must read. You must have your PhD. That's the only biggest benefit you can get from the University of Nairobi, being an education institution. So that thanks to him for that. So in the year 2007, when I got full registration, I was able to go to the field immediately. I conducted my data, and I was done with analysis by the year 2009. Wow. So I was now doing my reporting. So I thought I would graduate either 2010 or 2011 there. But we are in this world, and life is not a straight line. So in the year 2010, that's when now my husband got sick. And that was March 2010 when he got sick. He got admitted and then he passed on in March 31st, 2010. I think it will be 15 years this month. And that time when he passed on, I was left with 4 kids. The firstborn was, I think, 10 years or 9 years there. The secondborn was 7. Thirdborn was 6. Then the lastborn was, I was 2 months pregnant when he passed on. So you can imagine all that. So I had to, again, reorganize my life afresh. So I had to finish now the burial sessions and all that, the mourning period, and also now bring up the young one. Because now again, I delivered in September, no, October 2010. Now that's when I get my last baby, October 2010. So I prioritized. I said now the first thing to do is to bring them up, especially the younger one. He needed my press. Even if I wanted to go to the library, I would not have managed. So then I took care of them. I took care of him. By the time he was 2.5 years, I'm like, now he's a big man. I can leave him behind with my house help, and then I can start pursuing my PhD. So again, I started refocusing. That was the year 2012. 2012, yes, around 2012, mid there. So I remember I called my children. I told them, now, your mother wants to resume her studies. So you'll not be seeing me most of the time in this house, but I'm doing it for you. It's for all of us. So I need your support. But I'll be there for you too. And that time also I didn't have a candidate. My firstborn girl had gone to Form 1, and it's a boarding school. So I knew now the signing of the diaries will not be too much for me, because now the secondborn was, I think, standard 6 or something. Like, I can survive. So when I started again, when I resumed on that work, I was still in the legal office. And I tried to request for leave, I couldn't get. So I said then I have to again organize myself. So what I did was, because I was very determined to finish, I was more than determined to finish. I don't know where the cycle, the energy was coming from. But I'm like, this is work I began, and I have to finish it. So I don't live very far from the university. That time I was staying at St. Andrews University apartments. And my office was here at main campus. So I would wake up very early in the morning at around 5 a.m. I'm out, I'm awake. I'll be in the office at 5:30 a.m. Wow. So I work from 5:30 to 8 a.m.
On your work?
On my work, on my PhD work now. Because already I had corrected data, so it was just now again to update the old thesis, the old work.
To refresh yourself. How many years was it now since you put it aside and you're picking it back up?
It was close to 3 years. It was close to 3 years. So by that time, and again to kind of like rewrite everything from chapter 1 all the way, because now the references I'd made they were not updated. So I had to update it afresh. So I had to come to office 5:30. I would read up to 8. And then I do my work. Then again, I sit on my desk from 5:30. From 5 to 5:30, I'll take like a cup of tea and a snack. Then I sit on my desk up to 10 p.m. So by the time I'm going to the house, I find my kids have already slept, but it's okay. So they were even signing their diaries for themselves. Then I rest. Then again, and that one was, I was very consistent, like for 3 good years. Saturdays, I would spend the whole day here in the office or in the library or seeing my supervisor. Sundays, I would come to church. After church, I buy my kids ice cream or lunch, and then they go home and I come to the office. So, and during that time, I also talk to my relatives. I'm like, I will not be available for you for the next 3 years until I finish my work. So I don't want to be called for meetings. I don't know, you have this.
You had no social life.
I didn't have it.
Put it on a pause.
I paused all my social life. So with that, I was able to to submit my work in 2014.
Yeah.
I went to external examiner, normally the processes, and then I defended it at the faculty. I passed and then graduated in 2015. So you can count from 2007 to 2015, how many years are those?
8.
That's when I graduated. But I
was
finished
there
in
your
2014.
graduation. I just remember people screaming, Dr. Kiringa. And I'm there, I'm like, yay! Even me, I'm screaming, whether I know you or not. But I remember either that was my first graduation or, but I remember the days. People, we really celebrated you because now you know that line for PhD. It's no joke.
Yeah, it was a beautiful
celebrating you.
It was a beautiful journey. I was also very happy when I finished.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're jumping. What first? I have questions. So what's your reaction with all these transfers? How is your attitude changing as a person at the University of Nairobi when you're moving from one office to another? And then the transition from being a married woman to now a single, single mother. How are you changing as a person when all these things are happening?
Thank you so much. For the case of transfers, initially I felt like I didn't deserve to be moved from one station to another, to another, to another. But it reached a point that I took it very positively.
Okay.
A reason being, I'm a people's person. So I met, in the process of all those transfers, I managed to interact with very many people.
Yeah. So
it reached a point, because so I moved in 4 stations in less than 4 years. But so initially is when I felt uncomfortable. But at the end of it, I'm like, this is a good thing. Because every place I go, I meet new people, get new experiences. And when I went to Chiromo, I got very good experience in the School of Computing and Informatics. Mathematics was the apex of everything. Where even I also got that. There was also a trustee in that School of Mathematics, Professor Weke, who I also got a lot of experience and knowledge from. So it's a good thing. To be transferred, we just need to take it positive. Because at the end of the day, too, I didn't have to campaign too much in those places where I worked. Because people already knew me.
Yeah.
So they just told me, Grace, you don't have even to come and tell us about yourself. We already know you and we are going to vote you. So for me, it worked. The transfers worked positively for me. Yeah. It was like my social capital investment, if I put it like that.
Yeah. I totally understand.
Yeah.
And now this other one, for moving from being a married woman to a single mother, especially if your husband was in this same community.
Yeah.
How different was that?
Okay, that one was very difficult. It was very difficult, and I don't think it can be easy to end. It's very difficult for all of us, I believe, because it's like you have to change your life like 360 degrees. If you are facing this side, you have to face the other way around.
Yeah.
Because you see, you have somebody with you who is supporting you, who is giving you like everything, and then suddenly you are there alone. And you are not just alone as Grace. You are alone with other people surrounding, and they are not big, they are young. So for me, I would say it was not, number one, it was not easy. That transition was not easy. It was very difficult. But I would say that my family was very supportive. My own family was very supportive. And also my in-laws were also very supportive. Okay. So they held my hand together. And also, they supported me. But it took, and friends, supportive friends. Because also I had to change actually you don't change friends. But somehow happens. It just happens.
Because that was the question I was going to ask you.
Yes.
Are there some social capital gains that you had to lose because your husband was not your husband anymore?
A lot.
Yeah.
A lot. Because you see, there are those friends you have in the family who are friends to your husband, not to you. But by the fact that they are friends to your husband, they also become your friends. So when my husband went, they also, just disappeared. So number one, I was left with the consistent friends are the family members. Those ones, you know, they will not run away from you. Those ones will always come. They will be there when now these people run away. And then now from there, the people now who became very close to me were church. The people we pray with at St. Paul's Chapel, and the people we are in those small, in Bible study groups or jumuiyas. So they were very, 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 very supportive. So I can't say that, I don't think I have, at the moment I have those old friends whom we end with my husband, maybe one or two. Because there's one who was very considerate. Like my gynecologist was his very good friend. Him was very consistent. He was with me all through, even delivering the small baby, like that, all through. But many just disappear, which is very natural and which is very normal. Yes.
So you're Dr. Kiringa, University of Nairobi. How does that change your life within now your professional life? Does the promotions, do they come automatically? Does the movement then come automatically? You've attained that goal. You've attained that dream you are really working hard to attain. What changes, and does it come immediately or does it take time?
No, promotions here at the university, they take time. They take time because even for me to move from admin assistant to senior admin assistant, I became a senior admin assistant in the year 2008. So those are like 7 years. Then to assistant registrar, from 2007 to the year 2012. Those are 5 good years. And I got my PhD when I was senior admin assistant. No. Got my PhD after I had my PhD. So then from 2012, I got my promotion in grade 13 in the year, when was it? 2017. That's when I got my grade
3 years after becoming a doctor.
Yes. And up to today, I've not moved because the position I'm occupying now is on acting capacity. Yes. So I would say that we just need to be very patient. Let's not lose hope. Yeah.
I know you're doing other leadership, you're playing other leadership roles in all the other spaces apart from the University of Nairobi. Can you tell us what drives you to go after? First, you tell us what they are, and then you tell us what drives you to pursue those, those other roles.
My motivation to pursue leadership positions, number one, I would say that I've also been brought up in a family where has nurtured leadership skills. Because my father was a chief then. So we used to see, in the morning there would be like before we wake up, we'll find like a big number, a baraza waiting to see him. And so it's something we have seen as we grew. And since then, I've taken up leadership roles even in high school. I was the treasurer of the Catholic community. I was also the prefect of the library. Then when I also joined the university, I was the organizing secretary, Catholic community, for 3 years. And at the same time, I was also the treasurer. Is it called UNSA? Not UNSA. Sonu for the UNESA. So I was also the treasurer for education.
Okay.
Yes. So I would say that there's something in me that I don't know, I say I love leadership or something like that. So when I finished my being a trustee at the University of Nairobi Pension Scheme, I also joined I became a member at United Kenya Club in the year 2017. So when I joined the club, I also got to interact with the members there. And some of the members just talked to me and they said, Grace, why can't you try to be a director here?
Okay.
And especially she is called Sarah, who was director there already. Because in that board you find she was the only director as already.
Okay.
So it's like, now I'm almost retiring. I think we need another woman to take, and I've been observing, I've been seeing you.
Yeah.
You can make up a very good director here.
Yeah.
And I tried, and I was elected as a director at the United Kenya Club. And then after that, when I became a director, I became the chair of Hospitality Committee. And currently now I'm serving as the second vice chair at the same club. But up and above, my main motivation there is to serve the members, to improve their experiences. Number two, to ensure that the staff that are working with us, they are happy. And they have something that they can take home. To ensure that they are paid their salaries on time, that we motivate them, we encourage them. So when I see them working, serving us very well, and every month they get their salaries on time, their families are okay, that gives me a lot of fulfillment and a lot of satisfaction as I serve there.
If there's one thing you can take from your story or your journey, what's the one thing that you can tell a young girl, a woman, me? What's the one thing that you can pass on from your experiences?
From
as a learning, either,
Just one word, yeah?
No, not one word.
Okay.
Could be.
Okay, thank you so much. I think my advice would be, from my own experience, is that one, focus.
Yeah.
We must keep being focused. We should not lose our focus. Number two, resilience.
Yeah.
We must build a lot of resilience. Because life is not what we think it brings to us. So we have to be very resilient. We have to be very patient also with ourselves.
Yeah.
And also hard work. We must also put a lot of effort in whatever that we do.
Yeah.
And we just do your best in whatever that you're able to do, and you leave the rest to God. Just leave the rest to God. Just do your part, leave the rest to God.
All right.
Yeah.
So what's the way forward? What can we look forward to from your life? Are you going for other leadership roles? Are you aspiring to be an MP? Or you haven't thought about it? Outside the University of Nairobi, of course. Or here, maybe you want to be.
Yeah, okay. At the University of Nairobi, my dream is to reach the apex of my career.
Yes.
I'd like to be promoted to grade 15, be confirmed as the director, not acting now, director, branding and performance management. And I would also want to use my skills in serving the community, bring back the community. The community has given me so much that I would like also to proud back to it. And those are the reasons, like you have mentioned, I'm at the United Kenya Club.
Yeah.
There are no benefit by being a director there, is pro bono.
Okay.
So, but I'm happy with giving to the society. If it is in church, being a moderator of my Bible study group there is also giving to society. So I look forward to giving back to society. And if a surprise comes in the future, I'm willing to take it up.
Okay.
Yes,
all right. You're always ready.
I'm ready to take up any leadership role that is placed on my table or my desk.
Yeah.
As women, we must play our role. Our voice must be felt wherever we are. So when you are given a chance to be a board member, please take it up as a woman.
Yeah.
Your voice is needed there. Let's not refuse. when we are appointed.
Yeah.
Yes.
This, I wasn't going to ask a question, but something came up to mind now that you said that.
Yes.
How has it been being a woman leader at the University of Nairobi for the years that you've been there? Because you've been up there, you've sat in management meetings, you've interacted with. How is it being there as Grace, number one, and number two, as a woman? Yeah.
It has not been very smooth, but you have to stand your ground and say what you think is correct.
Okay.
Like when I was a trustee in pension scheme, it was not easy because you are sitting there in the board with the members of council who are also members of that board.
Yeah.
You also sit there with the vice chancellor and other representatives from the management.
Yeah.
But if, as Grace, I think this is what is right. This is what is good for my member. I will not fear anybody.
Okay.
I will not fear anybody. I'll pass my point. And I will ensure that it still goes through.
Okay.
Yes. So also in our boardrooms where we meet at the university, we must also ensure that if there's an agenda at hand that you need to contribute to, it is good to do some research around it.
Okay.
So that when you go to that boardroom, you are able to give very informed feedback, which also the members will take up and implement for the benefit of all the staff. So I think as a staff and in leadership positions in the university, it is hard work, it is consistent, it's also listening and also learning from other people's experience. We are not all knowing, so you also learn from others as you sit around those boardroom tables.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Grace, for coming, and thank you for sharing your story. Unless there's something I have forgotten, you can bring it up or your parting shots, through your parting shots.
Thank you very much. I think my parting shot is to thank you most sincerely for inviting me to this forum. It's my first time to be on TV.
Yay.
So, so I was very anxious.
Yeah.
But here we are. And so first to thank you for this opportunity that you have given me. And to wish all women a very happy International Women's Day.
Yes.
And to say that together we are going to win, and together we are going to change the society.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I've forgotten Kisima.
Yes.
The Kisima magazine. Can I talk about it a bit?
Yes, please.
Yeah. With your permission, thank you so much. I also wanted to say something about Kisima magazine, which once I'm an editor of that magazine, though at the moment it's not very active, and it's something I'm encouraged as women, that the idea of Kisima was, Kisima is aware.
What and where is that magazine? Kisima magazine.
Kisima magazine,
Okay.
Yes. I had like 4 publications, but I put a comma. But very soon I should be able to take it up.
Oh, you were the
editor.
Oh, nice.
Yes. So with a friend of mine.
Okay.
So the Kisima magazine, the genesis or the origin of it was that Kisima is aware.
Okay.
And those olden days, women used to share their ideas when they go to fetch water at the well. You'll find that, like, in the morning, all the women will go to the river to fetch water.
Yeah.
And when we are there, we are sharing our issues,
Stories.
our
Yeah.
stories.
Yeah.
I give my story about my kids,
Yeah.
what they are going through. Maybe they are sick. And then you give me some remedies or some medications. Maybe I even tell you about my husband, what is happening in my life. And then you being maybe my older woman, you advise me on how to deal with that matter. Yeah. But the question was, what is the Kisima in town? in our setup currently. What is our Kisima? Where are we meeting to discuss our issues? So that's why now I was building that Kisima, whereby now women can come on board, discuss their issues, and then we share that among ourselves.
Oh, wow.
So
You should
maybe soon I
revive
should
it.
be able to revive
Were
it.
you literally printing it? It's a hard
No,
copy?
it was soft copy.
Okay.
It was soft copy, yeah.
Please bring it back.
I will do that with
Yeah.
your support also.
Okay.
Yeah. So thank you so much, Nekesa, for the invite.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. I'm grateful.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Kiringa, and thank you so much for watching. I hope you've learned a thing or two from that short story, and have a lovely day.
UNC TV, empowering you.